And we begin with the first of two crowded Democratic presidential debates right here in South Florida. The aftermath of Parkland helping steer a good portion of the night. The candidates also had something to say about the divisive issue of gun control.
Healthcare, another big topic of this very early debate. After all, we still have 495 days until the general election. CBS 4's Ty Russell begins our team coverage tonight. He's live in downtown Miami. Ty.
Well, Rudy and Elliott, a busy debate, a lot of topics. Just now, within the last 2 minutes or so, I just saw a bunch of people leaving the Adrienne Arsht Center. They are leaving that debate. It was a 2-hour debate. Senator Warren leads the polls compared to the rest of the people who were up on that stage. That is one reason she received many questions from moderators, and she also had to defend her policies as well. On night one of the Democratic primary debate in Miami.
Who is this economy really working for? It's doing great for a thinner and thinner slice at the top. It's doing great for giant drug companies. It's just not doing great for people who are trying to get a prescription filled.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is on the defense about her progressive policies like free college, free child care, and government health care. And when it comes to immigration.
If I were president today, I would sign an executive order that would get rid of Trump's zero tolerance policy, the Remain in Mexico policy, and the metering policy. This metering policy is basically what prompted Oscar and Valeria to make that risky swim across the river.
Former San Antonio Mayor Julian Castro talked about his plan after being the first candidate to release a proposal to reform immigration, and he challenged others to take a bolder stance after seeing children separated from their parents. He went back and forth with fellow Texan Beto O'Rourke.
I helped to introduce legislation that would ensure that we don't criminalize those who are seeking asylum and refuge in this country. If you're fleeing desperation, then I want to make sure that you're treated with respect.
I'm still talking about everybody else.
But you're looking at just one small.
That's not the only back and forth for the former Texas Congressman O'Rourke. He and New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio disagree on how to tackle health care.
Talk about the co-pays, the deductibles, the premiums, the out-of-pocket expenses. It's not working.
That's right. So for those for whom it's not working, they can choose Medicare. For the culinary workers in Nevada who I listened to, who negotiated for those plans, they're able to keep them.
Although earlier in the debate, a question wasn't directly asked about climate change until later, but Washington Governor Jay Inslee, who was running because of climate change, well, he made sure he mentioned his plans while also calling out President Trump.
Donald Trump is simply wrong. He says wind turbines cause cancer. We know they cause jobs, and we know that we can put millions of people to work in the clean energy jobs of the future. Carpenters, IBEW's members, machinists, we're doing it in my state today. And then we can do what America always does, lead the world and invent the future and put people to work.
And another issue impacting South Florida is the tragedy in Parkland. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar had this to say.
Now, these Parkland kids from Florida, they started literally a national shift. You know why? It's just like with gay marriage. When kids talk to their parents and their grandparents, they say, I don't understand why we can't put these sensible things in place. They listen. And if we get bested by a bunch of 17-year-olds, it's the best thing that ever happened.
And at this late hour, more and more people are starting to go out of the Adrienne Arsht Center behind me since the debate has ended. And now it is wait and see if some of the lesser-known candidates will be helped or if this actually hurt them and they will drop out of the race. Now, South Florida voters, along with voters around the nation, will be able to hear from 10 more presidential candidates tomorrow night, starting at 9. But for now, we are live in downtown Miami, outside the Adrienne Arsht Center. I'm Ty Russell, CBS 4 News Tonight.